Okay, here we are again. All right, so I recapped a bunch of times on combat power and duels. Watch the previous 3 videos if you need or have any questions or need a refresher, whatever. This video specifically is going to be about how to determine how much trouble you're in, or I guess what your capabilities of winning are in a season or going into a new season. So the first thing, when I found out who we were going against, the first thing that I did look at was ranking. So very easily, it's just an eye test. I look at top 10 people. One, what the hell? Okay, now it wants to do it. All right. So we got 1 purple, 2 purple in the top 10. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 gold or yellow in the top 10. We got, so that's 6 total. No, that's 7 total. So then we got 1 orange, 2 orange in the top 10 as far as power goes. And then we got 1 pink. And as you can see, I'm pink. So of the top 10, it looks like, of course, gold is the stronger or heftier server. Then there's purple to follow them, followed by orange and then pink. So that seems super shitty going into the season. But then let's look at the next 11 through 20. So 11 through 20, we got 1, 2, 4 gold, which is, still a lot. 4 gold. We got 1, 2 purple. We got 3 pink, it looks like, and 1 orange. So it looks like gold for sure is the strongest as far as overall power goes going into the season. They have a lot of people in the top 20, followed by purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Well, purple and pink is tied. 1, 2, 3, and then orange in the top 20. Let's see. So let me write that out. We got orange, purple, pink, and I'll say gold. And I believe it was 3, 4, 4. That's 8, 11, so 9. So when you're looking at a matchup like this, where the season seems to be heavily powered in one person's favor, we're in a season where there's 4 different people and not 2. So idealistically, the only way that you would probably beat a power difference like this is if these guys teamed up. And initially, that's what you're gonna think when looking, or unless you get super defeated and say, "Oh, we're not gonna win," blah blah blah. But if you're actually looking to win, no matter what scenario you're in, what is ideal to do is to look at the overall power dynamic, probably in the top 20, and then kind of see where most of the power lies. So if the game matched correctly, the top 20 would be evenly divided, where each person would have 5, basically. But it's not, so that's fine. Well, let's see this. Yeah. And I guess in a season where they're matching servers or whatever, they might match these 2 together, since they are the weakest and these are the strongest, and then match these 2 together. That might make for a fair battle. But this is just an eye test on who who is the strongest overall power. We already looked at how misleading overall power can be, and realistically, they probably should have a combat power ranking, just so you can get like a better idea of like strength per server. But power wise, the gold seems to have it in their favor. Kills doesn't matter really. Loses and wounded doesn't. Losses and wounded doesn't matter. Town hall kind of matters, but I don't pay too much attention to it. So I guess another thing I would say is there are going to be categories that matter, and so like when I walk into the season, I look at overall power and say, all right, what does it look like? The eye test per server. But then I see how consistent that is amongst the other important categories. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, Town Hall probably is a 5 on importance. Let's see, Combat Survivors probably is a 5. It doesn't really give you a good idea. What I will need to know is like who has the strongest survivors and like how many people have like enough equipment to do a F1 super strong. So Troublemaker has a max F1, F2 combo, it looks like. And what I'm looking at here is this stuff. How many level 90 equipments do they have? Mr. Kenji here. Has a max F1, a pretty max F2 it looks like. F3 falling to the wayside. Let's see if we can find Donut. Max F1, not max, not max, not maxed, not maxed. Oh, this is interesting. It's an interesting setup. There are some rumors I've heard about Donut, and they are looking kind of true. They're looking super true. But I'll leave that drama to the in the service stuff. Basically, Donut only has a max F1. His F2 looks like this is called to the White, call to arms to White, Negan and Governor. And even with that, decided not to. I mean, he could max these if he wanted to. It looks he has like enough gold gear to do it, but it doesn't look like it. He has a max, so and right there you can see like a fallacy in the battle power because he has a max F1, and where a good player comes into play, a max F1 including Ezekiel is not going to be beat by anything, but a max F2 with the tyrants, definitely super effective. And if your F2 and F3 are the same, where you have the same max vehicle and you have the same max equipment and you have the same max dogs, like that's gonna disintegrate max F1 Ezekiel. Because I mean that's 2 against 1. Why would Ezekiel formation be better than 2 max? Anyways, so I look at combat survivors, I look at war cards, and again I'm looking at the ratio before we determine just off of overall power that the gold seemed to have the most, or yellow seems to have the most people in the top 10. But as you start to go down some of these other categories, you see that they don't have as quite a big of grip on these other categories that aren't as important. They certainly aren't up double here in Town Hall. They aren't up double anything on combat survivors. War carts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so they're beasts in war carts, that's for sure. Technology 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have a slight edge on technology. Recruits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. They're pretty strong with the recruits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pretty strong with vehicles, animals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Pretty strong with the animals also. So development sphere is not going to matter in battle. This stuff right here is not going to matter either. So overall power shows them kind of ahead in most things. Again, I'll probably give Town Hall like a 5 out of 10 in importance. Combat Survivors, also kind of like 5 out of 10 in importance as far as like just being able to read the numbers overall. But it's a great indicator on how many max formations someone has. So that's a great thing there. I mean, they all have the same capabilities where they show you how many in a max formation you have. So Donut has 1 max, and you see his F2 vehicle, not max. He doesn't even have anything on these other ones. And realistically, anyone that super well is like, Voldemort or IMAX, they're not going to have these things super maxed out. So this is where you have to, as a player, kind of determine like, how much you're going to spend or what your spending budget is and like what you should focus on when you do spend in order to be competitive with these other guys. Technology is another one of these things is kind of a fallacy, like having high technology. So I know already, or maybe I should pause. I'm going to pause and come back and talk about technology later. Thanks for listening. I'll be right back.